Hi, and welcome to Conan Exiles, Age of Calamitous. In this video, we're gonna talk about the orbs. We will talk about the buffs that they give you, the factions that can craft them, and also how to get the highest chance of getting the buffs successfully. So, if you think this guide would be of use to you, sit back, enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video so that we can share it to those who might need this updated guide. In my opinion, the orbs are the most underplayed buff options in the Age of Calamitous content. Most of the time, we use food and potions in order to get buffs. However, if you can craft these orbs and place them in the comfort of your own base, you will get buffs for a decent amount of time and without the need to farm and gather additional resources. The only catch is that it's dependent on a specific magic level for the buff to be successfully acquired. The higher your magic level is, the higher the chance of getting the buff successfully. So if your magic level is not yet maxed out, then there's always a possibility of dying. So the three potential outcomes when you interact with the orbs are: first, you get the buff successfully. Second, magic corruption. It means a debuff. So it's the opposite. Some of your attributes may be deducted with some points. And the last case scenario, and also the worst case scenario, is you die because of magic power overload. So make sure to pay close attention to this guide so that you will know the required magic type or a specific orb you want to interact. First thing you need to know is that among all 6 factions in the Age of Calamitous mod, there are only 3 factions who can craft the orbs where you can get different buffs. First is Elvanor, second is Felgarth, and the third one is Cold Embrace. Alright, so in order for you to start crafting the orbs, you need to unlock some of your feats. So I'm gonna show you here. So I am Felgarth, I'm also Cold Embrace, and also an Elvanor. So using admin, PP, I was able to spawn the gold tokens in order for me to join all 3 factions. Alright, so this is an admin thing. This is not a normal thing for you to have if you are playing without an admin access. So if you go here, let's start with Felgarth. So as early as level 3, you can already unlock 4 orbs: Vision, Purity, Love, Intellect. That's for Felgarth. You go to Cold Embrace, the same level, level 3, and then you can craft Orb of Blood, Frost, Plague, and Death. And then you go to Elvanor, still level 3. You can craft Orb of Faith, Clarity, Life, and Mysticism. Every orb has a different trait in terms of the buff that they give. So in order for you to craft your orbs, you need to do that at the woodworking bench. So you need to unlock woodworking bench, of course. So you go to survival, and then you go to art of craft, and then you will see here the woodworking bench. You can unlock this by level 1. So let me unlock that. There we go. So when I go to my handcrafting, I should be able to see the woodworking bench right here. It only requires you 25 shape wood. This is something you can craft in vanilla. So you should know this by now on how to create this. And then one of the things that we also need to unlock is the studies of the ancient arts. So you go to Feats, survival, and then the ancient arts. You click on that and you will see the station for the studies of the ancient arts. However, this is not gonna show by default. So the moment that you go to your feats, you can see the others. You can see survivalist, currency exchange, art of the craft, just like earlier, but you will not see the ancient arts right away. Now, the reason why you can't see that is because you need to come back here in the faction hall and go to this guy right here, Grandmaster Ferengar Quantus, and you need to click on Learn the Ancient Arts. He also has a quest if ever you want the excitement of doing the or learning the ancient arts by doing quests. You can also do so, but if you want to skip the whole shenanigan here, you can just click on Learn the Ancient Arts. Now, the moment that you click on Learn the Ancient Arts and then you go back to your feats, survival, you will be able to see the ancient arts already. Now, if you click on that, you will see that the ancient arts will enable you to handcraft a station called Studies of the Ancient Arts. This will also allow you to craft Arcane Essence. Now, Arcane Essence is one of the main materials in crafting the orb, so that's why you need to unlock it right here in the faction hall. Alright, so we're back home and we have the necessary stations that we need in order for us to craft the orbs. So let's see, we go to our feats, survival, and then unlocking the art of craft will give you woodworking bench and also the master furnace. That's the master furnace and the woodworking bench. And then the alchemy desk and the studies of the ancient arts. You go to your feats, survival, and then the ancient arts. We unlock this in the faction hall. And then this will give us the studies of the ancient arts, crafting station, and also the ability to craft arcane essence. Now, under the art of craft, you go to apothecary. You unlock that as well. Here we go. And then that will give you the ability to craft alchemy desk, handcrafted. And the alchemy desk is gonna give you the ability to craft mystical dust, which you will need as well in crafting the orbs. All right. So we have all the stations that we need. So we go to the woodworking bench. Look for the orb. So naturally, since I learned all 3 of them using a PP admin, all 12 of them are showing up. And the thing is that they have the same first 3 materials, as you can see. So every orb will require you chromium reinforcements, mystical dusts, arcane essence, and magic power gems. So for this one, it requires a blood power gem. This one wants fire, blood again. This one wants arcane, and so on. But the first 3 are always going to be the same: chromium, mystical dust, and then arcane essence. So for the chromium reinforcement, you can craft that in the master furnace. Here we go, right here. So just like the vanilla stations, you will have crafter thralls as well for AOC, and the crafter thralls for AOC will make it a lot cheaper when you're crafting these items. So for example, let's see, 222, but with a thrall. Okay, there we go, 112. Let's check. We weren't able to check this earlier. Let's go to the orbs. Here we go. So 30, 200, 25, 75. And it's 22, 150, 18, 56. Alright, so that makes a lot of difference if you have a crafter thrall in the station. So this is where you make the chromium reinforcement, just to double check. And then this is where you make the mystical dust. The same thing. If you have a thrall, it makes it a lot cheaper. So that's 4 and 3 versus 6 and 5. Right, so having a worker thrall, sorry, a crafter thrall would really help. So that's for the alchemy desk, where you can craft the mystical dust. And also, the studies of the ancient arts will give you the ability to craft the arcane essence. So that's 255, 2523. 2523 just became 1312. There we go. So you can definitely save a lot. Alright, so those are the stations where you can find all the materials. If you go back here, Click on one of the orbs. So yeah, we know where to get this in the Master Furnace. We know where to get this. This is gonna be from the Alchemy Desk, and this one is from the Studies of the Ancient Arts crafting station. And of course, the magic power gems, you will be able to get them once you've learned the magic and when you harvest the gems in order for you to level up. So if ever you want a guide for all the magics and how to learn them, upgrade them, including how to harvest the power gems, you can check the description down below. I will put all the links for the magic guides that I have, so feel free to check that out. And also you can click on the pop-up notification for this video. All right, so here are the orbs. They look so beautiful. So these are the orbs for the Elvanor faction. Faith, Clarity, Orb of Life, Mysticism. And then here are the orbs for Felgarth. Vision, Purity, Love, and Intellect. And here are the orbs for Cold Embrace, Orb of Blood, Frost, Orb of Plague, and Orb of Death. So, as I've mentioned earlier, there are 3 outcomes every time you interact with the orbs in order for you to get the buff. It's either you get the buff itself, you're lucky enough, or the required magic is already maxed out. It's no longer going to be by chances, it's going to be 100%. Second thing is, if you haven't maxed out yet, you might get the magic corruption, where your attributes will be deducted, and that's gonna be for 60 minutes, so you probably don't want that. And of course, the worst case scenario is dying. That's why it will be very advisable when you're interacting the orbs and you haven't, or you don't have a maxed out magic yet required for that orb, might as well, put a bedroll and just right next to the orb so that you can just spawn there and then get your loot back. Alright, so now I think it's time for you to see the details of every orb, the buff that they give, the required magic for you to max it out for the chances, and also for the number of minutes on how the buff lasts. Okay, so now that we already know the type of magic that you need to max out in every orb that you want to use, and also the specific buffs that they give. It's time to try it out. All right. So let me just show you my attributes as of the moment. I reset my attributes so that we can really see the additional buff. And at the same time, I also maxed out all my magic. There we go. I used admin for that, so we can demonstrate properly. 100% on every orb that we're gonna try. And then, let me give you one more tip. So every orb right here, you will see that they have like runes written around them, and they're colored. That should give you a hint on what type of magic it's dependent on. And also, when we were crafting them earlier, for example, if we're crafting the Orb of Blood, as you can see, it's asking for Blood Power Gem. And if you're crafting Orb of Clarity, it's asking for a Fire Power Gem. But the first three materials are the same. That should give you a hint as well on what type of magic you need to pump up in order for you to get the best chance of having the buff successful. So let's start with the 4 orbs from Elvanor. So Elvanor has Faith, Clarity, Life, and Mysticism. Okay, so Orb of Fate is supposed to give me Survival +5. There we go. And it's dependent on, as you can see, the color, Arcane. So let's see. It says Survival. Let me check. Survival +5. Awesome. Now this one is kind of yellowish, almost like orange or red. This is Fire Magic dependent. This is Orb of Clarity, and this should give me Encumbrance +5. And that's for 60 minutes as well, the same as the Orb of Fate. There we go. We're getting 100%. And let's go to attributes. Encumbrance is also +5. Awesome. Everything's working fine. This is quite obvious. Orb of Life is Vitality +5, dependent on Earth Magic. There we go. Vitality increased. Vitality +5. Awesome. And the Orb of Mysticism. This is a mix of Accuracy +3 and Grit +3. And yes, it's also Arcane. Quite obvious. And we are getting the buff. Magic damage, that's Accuracy. And Grit. So +3, +3. Let's check. Grit is +3. Accuracy is also +3. Alright. So now let's proceed to the Felgarth orbs. So the Felgarth orbs are Vision, Purity, Love, and Intellect. Alright, let's go with Vision first. So Vision is supposed to give me +5 accuracy, and it's based on Arcane as well. So since we already got a +3 earlier and then +5, this should make it +8 when we successfully do it. So let's see. Magic damage has been increased. Accuracy should be +8. Accurate, still awesome. It's working. And then Orb of Purity is, that's green, that's Earth dependent, Earth magic dependent, I mean. And this will give you immunity to curses and poisons. Let's see. So you cannot be poisoned, and also you cannot be cursed. I'm not quite sure what curses, but poisons, yeah, there's a lot of things that would poison you in the Conan Exiles world. Let's see. Oh no, it's not in the attributes, it's just there. On the left side, it says Attunement of Purity, 60 minutes. Alright, and I think it will also show here in the buffs. Let's see. It doesn't have names, just icons. Okay, this one, you might love this because, as you all know, for those who have played Age of Calamitous, especially for this new update, you will have to go to the underwater cavern as many times as you can count. And being able to breathe underwater will be a huge help without taking potions or food. So this one, Orb of Love, will give you 1 hour of water breathing buff. This is used to be, okay, take note, used to be dependent to fire magic. But the devs made some changes and made it water magic dependent, which will make more sense, of course. So again, Orb of Love is no longer, as you can see, the color of the runes, the writings. It's no longer red or yellow. It's already bluish, representing water magic. So it's water magic. And also, if you craft the Orb of Love in the crafting station, in the woodworking bench, it's going to ask you for water magic power gems. So there has been a change. Channeling powers, and this should give me 1 hour of, there we go, enhance water breathing. No need for potions. And then the Orb of Intellect is going to give me 5 grit. So this will give me 5 plus 5 grit, and it's dependent on air magic. That's white. So there we go. Boom. Let's see. Checking the grit. Oh, sorry. There we go. So earlier we got plus 3 from the mysticism. And now we got 5 more from intellect. So our grit now is plus 8. Awesome. Everything seems to be working. And we're on to the orbs from the Cold Embrace. Alright, so the orbs of the Cold Embrace are the Orb of Blood, Frost, Plague, my personal favorite, and the Orb of Death. Alright, so the Orb of Blood is supposed to give you plus 5 strength. So our attribute is plus 4 as of the moment because of the racial bonus from Iwa. So if I'm able to do this successfully, it should be plus 9. Alright. And this is blood magic dependent. The, you know, the one that's really red is blood magic. So let's see. Plus 9. Awesome. This one is Orb of Frost, and it's a little bluish, so that's dependent to water magic. And this will give me plus 5 agility. Okay, there we go. So all of the orbs so far are giving you 60 minutes of buff time. So agility should be plus 5. There we go. So that's from the Orb of Frost. And then my personal favorite, as I mentioned earlier, the Orb of Plague. Dependent to your blood magic level. And as you can see, this one will give you a temporary period of time, of course. But it's not very temporary. As you can see the time, it started from 480 seconds. Sorry, minutes. 480 minutes. That's a total of 8 hours, guys. Okay, that's 8 hours of attunement of Plague. Now, a little bit of explanation how it works. It's not an immunity to the Ilarican Plague. I repeat, it's not an immunity to Ilarican Plague. It will just protect you in this manner. So let's say you got stacks. You got 1 stack, 2 stacks, 3 stacks, 4 stacks. It's already dangerous when it goes over 5 stacks. Okay, for the player. Now, the moment that you hit 5 stacks, 6 stacks, and you go out of the cloud, the moment you go out of the cloud, it's still going to count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and you're dead. Right? And you're dead. However, if you have this buff, let's say you got 6 or 7 stacks and you were able to get out of the cloud right away. The moment that you get out of the cloud, the Ilarican stacks disappear right away. It doesn't count down anymore. No more 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So it's not making you immune, but it's giving you a chance to still live the moment that you go out of the cloud. You know, that death cloud we call Ilarican Plague. So it doesn't count down anymore. The stacks disappear the moment that you're out of the Ilarican Plague range. So that's how it works. Because some people think it's an immunity. No, it's not. And some people would say it's not working. No, maybe you're understanding it wrong. So let's just make that clear. Does not make you immune, but it eliminates the stacks right away the moment you get out of the zone. That's how it works. Orb of Death. Orb of Death is supposed to give you immunity to corruption. So corruption is a pain for some of the dungeons, right? That's why you need dancers with you. But this time you don't need dancers with you because you will have immunity to corruption for 60 minutes. And it's dependent also to your blood magic level. Can you imagine going into a fight or a quest with all the buffs on your left side? But of course, it will require you to max out all your magic so that you will have the comfort of not getting corruption, magic corruption, or worse, death. And that is all for this guide, you guys, and I do hope you find this helpful. If you do, please leave a like and smash that subscribe button for fresh tips and tricks for Conan Exiles, Age of Calamitous. You can also leave a comment below for requests of guides and walkthroughs that you want us to cover, or any recommendations on how we can make our content better in our future videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now, you guys.